like to bring up our last and final speaker to the stage, Dan Cataldi.
Everybody's disapproval should hurt you now. If the heavens ever did speak, she's the last true mouthpiece. Every Sunday's getting more bleak. Fresh from each week, we were born sick. Heard them say it. My church offers no absolutes. Tells me worship in the bedroom. Only heaven I'll be sent to.
Take Me to Church by Hozier. I fucking love that song. But just like, and I probably don't even have to say this, but just don't actually do it. Don't take me to church. I don't believe in God. I'm Jewish. I believe in food. Take me to a restaurant. But optimally as a customer. You know, I worked briefly this past summer as a line cook at Vernick. And that was when I realized that none of you people actually work hard. But let's back up, right? Because before I get to you people, and I will, and I mean it that way, I had to find my way to Philly, which I did. Shout out Blair Mannix for fucking that one up. And when I got to Philly, you know, I was stoked to explore what I'd heard was a fantastic food scene. I got a list of recommendations together. A friend from the area said her favorite was Park. For those of you unfamiliar, it's one of Steven Starr's restaurants. Elegant, yet unpretentious French cuisine. It's quite the romantic atmosphere for anyone in need of a date night recommendation. And that's not just one person's opinion. Actually, back in October, certified Google reviewer and local guide Steve, he gave Park 5 stars in an online review layered with praise. He commented publicly, "Such a sick place. And everybody gets laid." So true. Nobody goes there and has a bad date. Literally, everybody gets head. End of comment. But here's the best part, right? The owner of Park responded. He says, "Steve, thank you for such a wonderful review. Nothing pleases us more than to hear that our guests thoroughly enjoyed their dining experience at Park. We look forward to welcoming you back soon for another 5-star experience." Now, I don't know about you guys, but I've certainly got a newfound appreciation for the words pleases and thoroughly. But also, like, wasn't Biden there like 2 days ago? I knew that dude a freak. Smelling hair and shit. Knows like every fucking shampoo in the CVS aisle. But on that note, when I submitted my interest to perform tonight, the Storytellers team wanted to make sure that we weren't all just gonna get up here and, you know, crack the same jokes about the dating scene at Wharton. And I assured them, as someone in a nearly 10-year relationship, that wouldn't be an issue. And those suckers bought it. But before I talk about the dating scene at Wharton, let me talk about the dating scene at my undergrad alma mater, you know, switch things up a little bit, Brown University. That was where I first learned to spit game. And not just human game, bird game too. Like actual birds. Like some Dr. Dolittle type shit. Let me explain. Brown is known for its academic flexibility, right? Which is how I found myself in a class called Mechanisms of Animal Behavior. That's not even the joke yet. I'll never forget something I learned in that class, right? Once you learn it, you'll never forget it. This is that moment for you guys. Here it is. Birds. They only say 2 things. we kind of project this like human, like complex language on them. We assume they're having conversations. They're not. They say two things. This guy fucking sucks. And yo, let me smash. I swear, this guy fucking sucks. And yo, let me smash. And they got a low pitch one and a high pitch one, right? They got a low pitch one like a deep squawk, right? Quick acoustics lesson. Low pitch sound waves travel less directionally than higher pitched ones. It's harder to tell where around you a deep sound is coming from. So birds pull out the subwoofer when a predator rolls up and they're trying to warn folk about the op without giving away their position, right? If danger's nearby, you use that low key to stay low key while letting the whole nest know that this guy fucking sucks. Now, the high-pitched sounds, those travel directionally. You can tell where a high-pitched chirp is coming from, easy. And birds only say two things, right? This guy fucking sucks and yo, let me smash. They use the low pitch for the former. We all know all about that. The higher pitch, well, that's used when you got a reservation for two lined up at park and you're trying to holler at the ladybird with the fly-ass talons over there. Right? That high pitch comes with all the location details that they don't even want. Which tree you're on, how decked out your branches, whether you're not your lame-ass roommate who can't stop talking about eagles is going to be out of town this weekend. And what's crazy, though, is that that's actually most chirps. It's not always danger, but it's always smashing. Right? Those sounds you wake up to on a beautiful Sunday morning. Didn't set your alarm. Sunshine kind of peeking through the blinds in the corner. Yo, you up? Yo, come through. Yo, let me smack, let me hit that. But that piece of knowledge is the most valuable thing I learned at Brown, right? And it's worth knowing because it makes listening to bird calls way funnier. Especially when you realize that super avid bird watchers who know like all the bird calls have really just spent years of their lives learning how to spit bird game. It's kind of crazy, right? There's a guy who pees in the alley behind my apartment who can literally flirt with a blue jay, yet most of you guys can't even introduce yourself to a classmate unless you spend 30 minutes at an open bar first. I'm not saying I'm any better. Superficial is simple, right? I've not always been in a 10-year relationship. Let me share a quick story. My senior year of undergrad, I was hooking up with this chick. I should probably mention, given the juxtaposition with the last joke, that this woman was a human woman. And to paint a vivid picture, I should also mention, back then, I was a fuckboy with 2 fake diamond earrings, some newfound rich but douchey friends, and grandiose yet ambiguous career aspirations, as opposed to now when I only wear 1 earring. But I was hooking up with this chick, and at some point she must have realized that the whole, I have no idea what I'm doing for my internship this summer, but did you know that birds flirt thing just didn't necessarily make me long-term partner material. And so I guess she decided to have one last hurrah before calling things off. She stopped by. We watched Mulan, if you know what I'm saying. And as she got up to leave my dorm, she couldn't find her phone. Tragedy. So I see this. I pull out my phone, and like the fucking gentleman that I am, I called that shit for her. The phone rang and we both saw where it was. But in that moment, I noticed that when the contact came up, it clearly had too few letters to be my name. And let me remind you, my name is Dan. I asked her what she saved me as in her phone, but she clammed up and did what any reasonable person would do when caught in a jam. Gaslight her way out. She told me I was bugging and wouldn't let me see her phone, but unfortunately for that plan, you can't convince a guy he's crazy if he already knows that. So like a moth to the gaslight, I swooped in. And we got to the building's front door. On some Splinter Cell shit, I secretly hit redial from within my pocket. She pulled out her phone, and in that exact moment, I saw it. Call from, no. Call from, N-O. Honestly, I didn't know whether to be insulted or flattered. I mean, on one hand, right, she was clearly done with me. And to whatever extent I'd been interested in building a long-term relationship with this young woman. Oh, fuck. Forgot I set up shortcuts that come up at 11:30 to tell me to shut the fuck up and go to bed. Sorry about that. Gaslight, call from no, don't know whether to be insulted or flattered. I mean, on one hand, she was clearly done with me, and to whatever extent I'd been interested in building a long-term relationship with this young woman, I'd squandered my chance. On the other hand, is it just me, or is that the biggest compliment one could possibly ever receive? Like, hear me out, let me explain, right? I smoke slightly more than a little bit of weed sometimes, most times, but sometimes when I know I've got an irresistibly delicious treat back at the apartment, not to get off topic, but say, I don't know, like a 3-pack of Hostess butterscotch crimpets from Old Nelson Market on 20th and Chestnut, but get there by 8 or whatever because they tend to close early or whatever, but okay. So in this hypothetical, I'm stoned to the fucking bone. I got this irresistible treat at the apartment, but I don't want to indulge in the calories. And so I'll leave a little note for myself, effectively as a reminder that for as much as I know my stone body is going to be deeply craving it, sober me would prefer I don't. So where was I? Call from, no. There I was, no. Standing in front of this girl, us both immediately horrified by what's been uncovered. And all of a sudden, I start smiling. And I started smiling in that moment because in that moment, I realized that I'm a snack. That was the moment I realized I'm a snack. And the junky kind too, right? The good kind or the bad kind, right? The kind you just can't help yourself over. But that was then, right? I'm a changed man now. It's been a long time since then. And I told you earlier, my partner that I'm with now, she and I have been together for nearly 10 fucking years. You know how much work goes into being able to say that? She even moved to Philly with me. You know, and after 10 years, I'd nearly built up enough goodwill to get my real name put in her contacts instead of how she used to have it back in undergrad. Same chick. I never said otherwise. Y'all just assume that. That's good comedy. But as I was saying, I'd nearly built up enough goodwill to get my real name put all up in them contacts. And then you all appeared. What I mean by that is I started business school. You know, navigating a relationship at Wharton is tough. People like to shit on being single at Wharton, but don't sleep on the difficulties that those of us doing the Lord's work face. Where are my long-termers at? It's hard to do what we do. It's hard to blow off all your household responsibilities, disappoint your loved ones, make negative money, and still convince yourself you're doing the best job you can prioritizing. Honestly, though, I feel like I live a lifestyle that's just always one Bonner's straight arm beer chug away from blowing my life savings, pretending I'm not poor while making plans to rent a yacht with student loans. That Colombian pink shit's a hell of a drug. I didn't say that. And let's just face it. Just like me my senior year of undergrad, we're all a bunch of fuck boys. Or to be less gender prescriptive, fuck people. Except instead of 2 fake diamond earrings, we all have equally douchey opinions about why the Silicon Valley bank collapse could have been prevented. So yeah, you could say that there's some friction that comes with trying to maintain a home life while maximizing an MBA experience. But the chick from that story with the phone contact, no, she's a trooper, real trooper. You know, she's been by my side throughout this entire experience, put up with me during the application process, got to know a bunch of my new friends. She supported my entrepreneurial endeavors. But it's fatiguing for her to continue existing in a world in which her social life revolves around mine while my calendar is less stable than Kanye. So I try to make sure that I take time to step out the bubble, you know, lean into our relationship and get some real quality time in, right? To be the fuck person she loves, the guy who makes her smile. I'm gonna take a seat for this bit. I'm so glad I can't see you guys. So, we established a weekly date night. Remember, fellas, just because you stop being single doesn't mean you get to stop dating. Tell her I told you that. She and I switch off who picks the restaurant. We turn off our phones when we get there, and we come home to watch a movie together on the couch over 2 warm mugs of tea. But tonight's not date night. Tonight's Storytellers comedy night. In fact, she happens to be all the way out of state on this fine evening. So tonight, I'm all of you people, not as individuals. You guys are cool as individuals. I'm talking you people as a group. Y'all in your most fucked up, stereotypical form, right? I am you and you are me. That's the truth. The version of us that gets so caught up with what ski house we're staying in or whose Instagram post we're tagged on that we forget to not really fucking suck. It's the version of us that Vayova knows, the travel agency. And you people, this guy, me, this Jedi fucking master of business administration sitting before you. I'd like to do a little capstone by singing y'all a song. I can't sing, you guys applauded too soon. It's a song about date night, about being a partner under the influence of Wharton pride. You may recognize the melody. It's to the tune of Take Me to Church by Hosier. Where my fucking Follies writers at? You guys know this one. Here it goes. This week's opportune, yeah. My girl been looking pretty blue, yeah. Asked with that offer to Goldman, can I make more time home spent? The thing is that I play hockey. My whole team counting on me. And she says when I'm with them that I'm not me. I responded, we should go to Yacht Week. I feel homesick, I heard her say it. How? We live in 1919. She says we need to talk, yes queen. It's date night, baby, let's eat. I'll pick the place, read some reviews. I was sold quick, I'm not above it. This could only end well. Hey, date them, make them hate men. Take her to park, she'll have the best car. Go of her life, then drop to her knees and make her your wife. Everybody getting head tonight. 5 stars, wish I could rate you twice. Take her to park, she'll have the best car. Go of her life, then drop to her knees and make her your wife. Everybody getting head tonight. 5 stars, wish I could rate you twice. Thank you, Steve. Good night.